And my guest today is Aditya Das. Aditya, of course, is a researcher and analyst across the Techemy Group, a very busy person, a reasonably regular guest here on the crypto conversation. But yes, welcome back to the show, Aditya.
Hey Andy, it's great to be back. Yeah, and a lot has happened since we last spoke. A lot to unpackage with the markets and things happening in the world, and yeah, mainly good news. Happy all-time highs, happy momentum. Yeah, enjoying life at the minute.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. And of course, you are exactly right. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a firecracker start to 2024. Here we are now coming up to the end of March. So, I guess it has gone reasonably quickly. But of course, massive things happening, particularly at the start of the year, obviously with the Bitcoin ETFs. Then they turned into a sell the news event. And then suddenly the reverse happened and the inflows into those ETFs absolutely exceeded all expectations, which meant that Bitcoin ran straight up to 69K and then 73, 74K, new all-time high, well before the halving even, which caught a lot of people by surprise. The other key narrative, Aditya, which is kind of what I want to run through a bit with you today, is of course meme coin season. So, while I think it's correct to say that Bitcoin has led the crypto market firmly into bull market territory, and traditionally that's what we see across the cycles. Bitcoin kind of moves first. This time around, instead of Ethereum or some of the other more traditional altcoins leading into altcoin season, if you like, instead it's meme coins that have really captured the altcoin zeitgeist. And as on the back of that, of course, Solana has gone very well as well. So what I'd love to just kind of dive into a bit today, Aditya, is this number one, the meme coin phenomenon, and then off the back of that, we'll touch on this idea of financial nihilism and how that kind of plays out as well. But yeah, I don't know if you want to just jump in and kind of kick it off with some thoughts on maybe what a meme coin is, and we'll do some quick history on meme coins, and then how has it got us to where we are today.
Yeah. So a simple definition for what a meme coin to me is a token that for its branding and public images utilizes a meme. So some already existing popular piece of generally internet culture. Most commonly, we've seen the Doge meme, captured by Dogecoin, and then a number of other dog-based coins, including Shiba and Floki, which all sort of people love little doges and the funny faces they make. And yeah, that's a piece of internet culture. And when you use this kind of recognizable image, it sort of takes some of the intimidation perhaps out of investing. It makes maybe it feel a little bit more like around at the casino. It's sort of this sort of playful, make money, lose money. I don't really care what's going on. It's sort of, yeah, a little bit kind of maybe elements of what we saw with Reddit and GameStop, kind of making it a little bit more fun, the investing side of things. Other memes we've seen captured into tokens include Pepe, which has absolutely flown recently. And yeah, a parallel meme, which is a dog wearing a hat, which we'll go into. Another meme that's really taken off is sort of weird parody versions of politicians. Um, yeah,
Yes.
it kind of there were these Spider-Man comics from back in the day, which sort of like with I don't know how to say this politically correctly, but were like versions of real superheroes and politicians, but like they're dumbed down and they don't construct their sentences properly. So you
Mm.
see Dolan Trump and Geo Biden um sort of gaining popularity. And yeah, so recognizable, funny pieces of internet culture that you can slap onto a token project and use as a kind of marketing tool or branding tool.
Yeah, it's amazing that because Dogecoin was the first meme coin, and of course Doge was famously, I guess, initially deployed as really as a joke. And then it kind
Yeah.
of became, you could argue that it became a bit of a social experiment, and then effectively became the people's coin, if you like. Even Elon Musk, who is famously a backer of Doge. And the reason Elon explained that the reason why he supports or has supported Doge in the past is simply because the way he tells it, some of the kind of everyday Joes that were working on the Tesla and SpaceX production lines, they said to him, "Oh, we support Doge. We are Doge holders, you know." And then so I'm not sure if Elon's framing is correct, but he saw it as Bitcoin was for rich people, whereas Dogecoin was the people's cryptocurrency. Kind of makes sense. And if you extrapolate that a little bit, that is kind of what has happened, and that the new kind of, I guess, younger retail investors, and this is, it ties into financial nihilism, the new people coming into the markets now, if they don't have a super big fat wad of capital to invest, and if they look at Bitcoin at 70K or whatever, they're like, man, I may have missed the boat on Bitcoin. But it is a lottery ticket, as you said, Aditya. If you can throw half a Solana at a new meme coin, that is, your chances aren't zero. Your chances are much better than a lottery ticket at getting a 5x, a 10x, even a 100x. So I can kind of understand how we've gone from, Dogecoin over what, 2 or 3 cycles now to really a full-blown meme coin mania, it looks like, in this cycle, Aditya.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's a really good point because there has been growth in sort of the meme coin ecosystem. And, trying to take this into like a semi-serious conversation, Solana is a great example of why meme coins have been doing so well. So, you know, probably 2 years ago, either launching them as a layer one like Doge was, or as an ERC20 was probably your best option to create a meme coin and have like this community token or this internet token. But now chains like Solana have emerged as fast, cheap, easy ways to launch these tokens. And for users, like you said, if you want to use that analogy that Bitcoin and Ethereum are like the expensive man's coin, and the meme coins are the whatever new younger slightly poorer person's coin. Solana has made them cheaper, faster, and easier to more accessible. So I think one of the reasons we've seen this popularity is the improvement of infrastructure of platform blockchains, primarily Solana, enabling these tokens to be launched like cheaply, quickly, and easily accessible. Like another thing, a reason why people like meme coins and Doge is the simplicity, right? You don't have these like heavy fundamentals. So you kind of need a conduit like Solana to make them like cheap and accessible. And it's done a very good job with that. Now it's got like Jupiter, which is this AMM that works well, has a good user interface. Again, their wallet technology, accessible, fast, easy to understand, and yeah, sort of again taking a semi like you mentioned that it's a little bit better than blockchain. It is. If you look at the market dynamics, the way these liquidity pools work, and often you come in and you see like a meme coin that has like a low market cap, and you're like, okay, you can almost calculate how much value needs to come into that pool for the price of that token to rise to like a target level. So you see actually some of these like, extremely financially competent degens, making very sort of calculated bets on these meme coins that think about risk and the amount of capital that needs to flow in, some kind of quant based meme coin trading. So yeah, there is elements of complexity that is otherwise like sort of simple from a top level ecosystem.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great points in there, Aditya. I think, yeah, you're exactly right when you say that, the idea that meme coins simply are memes and they don't have any fundamentals or pretense at seriousness. That's kind of a feature, not a bug, right? Because
Yes.
these young traders, young retail traders, young, maybe people in emerging markets, people that don't have a lot of capital. They feel that they've missed the boat on Bitcoin and Ethereum. For them, you're exactly right. Maybe the idea, they don't want to learn about the vast and confusing array of Ethereum layer twos. They don't really care about proto-dank sharding. They're not too worried about trying to restake all their ETH multiple times. What they want to do is cheer for their tribe. They want to get behind a meme, and the reason for that, I guess, partly is they want to gamble, and that's ties into, lottery tickets, the rise of financial nihilism, which, of course, we had a piece on this on Brave New Coin, but really, I think it comes from a Twitter thread from Travis Kling from earlier in the year. Of course, he famously put out his thesis for the year, which was effectively, due to the result of financial nihilism, young people are disillusioned with the world. They're disillusioned with the cost of living, inflation. They've been priced out of the property market. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They're annoyed at the boomers. And so what do? They see fast money, GameStop, lottery tickets, gambling, sports gambling, altcoins, but especially meme coins, as a potential path to salvation. And if not salvation, it's kind of, as Travis said, it's a lack of pretense that any of this shit does anything or will ever do anything, which I thought was quite a striking line and quite an apt way to describe probably 90% of crypto trading, Aditya.
Yeah, absolutely. And, to that point, I think, particularly in the early days of crypto, when, altcoins started emerging in 2017 and 2016, you came across the term altcoin casino quite often. And, particularly technical traders would really not care about the fundamentals. They'd care about, exchange dynamics, volume flows, order book data. And to them, whether these projects were building any new type of technology was irrelevant. They're all kind of black boxes. You trade the chart, and you hear that term a lot. And yeah, I think meme coins are kind of an evolution of that concept where, yeah, it's not even like we've gone beyond trading the chart. We're literally trading the tweet or the
The culture.
influencer
We're trading
post,
the culture.
the culture. We're trading the culture. Yeah. So yeah, as you said, we've taken away the pretense. um there is this sort of, yeah, and it seems like, I think for young people, the gap between themselves and the boomer generation or like homeowners is so large that there seems to be this sort of, we have to do this as quickly as possible. Numbers we're talking about, like, crypto traders won't be happy with 1,000% return on their portfolios in a year. They want, 1,000,000%. They're seeing their portfolios double in a day. We're talking about easy 120% trades, with arbitrage on meme coins. Gone are the days of just, making basis points off of like risk-free trades. People are like really making, I was like on YouTube before we came on, and yeah, I'm seeing people pitching arbitrage trades or just like sort of simple, no risk, moving thing point A to point B. And yeah, you get 100% return for, yeah, switching between assets, not an actual trade. And I'm like, wow, things have moved really quickly.
Yeah, they certainly have. And so you talked a little bit about how Solana has become the natural home of the meme coin ecosystem at the moment. And so, of course, what we're seeing at the moment is meme coin pre-sales, right? So
Yeah.
this is crazy at the moment. So investors will send money to some a random crypto wallet, and in return, the idea is they will get an airdrop when the token officially launches. But it's really just you're basing this completely on trust that the anonymous people or the developers will actually go through with this. Sometimes they do, sometimes they rug. Interesting one that's just happened over the last few days. Slurf. I'm sure you've seen the Slurf token and what happened there. I kind of been trying to read a little bit about it this morning, but so I guess basically the original dev what did he do? He locked himself out of the token contract or burnt the tokens accidentally. So he basically evaporated the 10 million on kind of pre-sales that were supposed to be the token holders. But conversely, that brought a whole lot of attention to the project, and then they did an X Spaces, and the remaining tokens still did extremely well. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with Slurf, but
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me. It's actually, what's an interesting phenomenon? It makes me think of projects like Shib and
Yeah.
Bonk,
Yeah.
right? That started off as jokes and were like, oh, give us some money, we might build something cool with it. We might not, who cares? And we might rug you. But in the end, those projects, particularly Shib, now it's got a DEX, it's got its own layer two, it's got all of these things going on. Yeah, it also reminds me there was this Netflix documentary about the Coin project, and it's like often this situation where like these projects receive all this money, and then they're like, I guess we might as well build something now.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe that's the hope that they're giving their money to, yeah, these spun up launchpad. And another factor there is the success of airdrop tokens earlier in the year. Starknet, Jupiter, obviously
Yes.
much more legitimate than the meme coin projects, but that term airdrop became such a buzzword for so long. Starting with like optimism and Arbitrum, everybody was like, you have to participate in these rounds. Liquidity restaking. Um, there was a lot of airdrop tokens that people wanted to get access there. So yeah, maybe it's the fact that the word airdrop is being used and that's enticing people. But yeah, I approach with caution is would be my thoughts.
Yes, look, very wise words. Look, Aditya, before we were chatting, you sent me a link this morning when we were DMing to the dog with hat. The original photo has been turned into an NFT, and that sold for around just over 1,200 ETH earlier today or yesterday or something. But and it kind of yeah, I mean. With or Dog with Hat has been one of the standout meme coins of this cycle. What is with the why is it why did it start with dogs, and what Dog with Hat is it simply it's just as ridiculous as taking a cute photo of a dog and it's wearing a hat and bam, Dog with Hat. That's how it works, right? It's
Yeah, I do think it's one of those things. The more you think about it, the more your head starts spinning, and you start like doing research, and it doesn't lead anywhere. And yeah, sometimes you just have to accept that. Yeah, dogs are cute, and like people like looking at dogs, and a dog wearing a hat over its ears is quite cute. And yeah, it's crazy. So that the original dog with hat, I don't even know if I can call it an NFT because it was an existing image that's just been like put into an NFT. There's not even like an artist has put a glaze over it.
Mm,
Yeah, 4.3 million to GCR, which is Global Coin Research, a pretty big VC. And we've seen like the likes of Delphi, um, and some of these bigger like DAOs, like Pleaser DAO, and these sort of yeah, blue chip I would almost call them, but like these are firms with ex Harvard, ex Stanford, people with CFAs, people who used to work for investment banks. Yeah, they're also getting involved. I think, you know, you can't fight the tide. Meme coins are everywhere, and they seem to be, uh, yeah, meme coins, meme NFTs seem to be a good way to sort of a high upside investment opportunity. Maybe a portion of these large portfolios are being allocated towards these meme projects. A large firm like GSR throwing a little bit, maybe 0.5% of their portfolio towards a meme NFT, and the upside for them is pretty high and probably worth the risk for them.
Yeah, well, I think, it's that old saying, liquidity begets liquidity, and
Yeah.
it's nowhere more true than in crypto. The hot money, money goes where money goes, and money goes where attention goes. And there's no denying that the attention economy is firmly focused on meme coins, and I just don't really see that changing. I think there's going to be two key narratives this cycle. One is just going to be the Bitcoin behemoth rolling steadily on, and just what happens with the fast increasing institutionalization of Bitcoin, and perhaps even effectively pricing Bitcoin out of the hands of retail investors. We might even see that happen this cycle. So, of course, where does that leave them? Of course, meme coins is the simple answer. I saw a great take on X. Aditya, where people were talking about, someone was talking about the meme coin ecosystem as essentially, like, think of it as a skill-based global lottery platform. Because as an investor, you get to decide which meme you want to buy tickets in, which tribe you want to support. But the skill comes in terms of, not all meme coins will make it, but some will. So there's certainly skill and ability, and that kind of extremely online internet culture mentality that comes from being in all the discords and the groups, and being able to kind of have your ear to the ground and spot trends. So there is certainly real skill in that, and I think that's just another potential way for people to kind of play the peer versus peer multiplayer video money meme game. It's just, this is the world we live in 2024, Aditya.
Absolutely. And, yeah, we mentioned SHIB earlier, but that's risen to be the 12th largest asset in crypto by
Mm.
market cap. And yeah, it's exactly that. People thought, oh, this is just another Dogecoin clone, although it's a big, visible Dogecoin coin. It's got nothing to going for it and stuff. And all of a sudden, behind the scenes, they were building like an ecosystem. They were slowly gaining community support. And yeah, you look at the rewards now. Like Pepe is another one where I think it's been around maybe since 2019, and yeah, has reemerged, has been doing some stuff on the sides, has benefited from things like ordinals, I believe, and a few other things. And yeah, just as you say, and just as that thread points out, there is a level of skill. If you go in thinking you can blindly buy meme coins, you may end up, yeah, losing some money. But there is a little bit of strategy involved. There is, a little bit of like influencer tracking, probably, looking at socials, being on the discords, asking the right people the right questions. Yeah, following social trends, um, yeah, looking for the breadcrumbs. And yeah, it's interesting. Actually, that thesis, sorry, I wanted to bring this up, is unique because, what we've seen in previous cycles is, for example, with Doge, which is, probably been through 3 or 4 bull cycles, is, isolated runs. You see Doge, run for maybe a month or so, and then sort of come crashing down, and you don't hear about it for like 6 months or so, and it reemerges. This cycle feels a little bit different. I don't think I've ever seen a cycle where meme coins have taken the sheen away from altcoin projects, and even the altcoin projects that have benefited, have done well in the last month or so. Ethereum, probably because of the ETF, but also because of the layer twos, and the emergence of, oh, this could be a good platform now to launch because optimism is so cheap now. And Solana, which is, again, this is a great platform to launch meme coins on. So yeah, it's unique this time around with meme coins sort of leading the altcoin rally. And yeah, there is this financial nihilism narrative which makes sense and appears to be influencing the emotions and the behavior of traders and investors.
Yeah, that's some great points there. Completely agree. Yeah, I mean, because Doge, when Doge would kind of go nuts in previous cycles, that sort of would tend to kick off an altcoin season, and that would be sort of at the end of a cycle, and then after that,
Yeah.
everything would crash. But I think everything's a little bit out the window this cycle. Just everything is different. From Bitcoin kind of hitting new all-time highs before the halving. And yeah, I mean, the meme coin's been the first altcoins to do well. I don't know, and it's just hard to see how all the other altcoins can keep up with the kind of just the attention economy that the meme coins have taken. It's just too strong at the moment. But I don't know. Let's finish this off. Aditya, I don't know how we finish it off, but I did notice I was looking at some of the, when you and I used to write regularly for Brave New Coin back in the day. We still do, but there's so many articles that you and I sort of contributed to from 2019 to 2021 cycle, talking about the rise of Dogecoin and then the rise of SHIB, and these full analysis articles. And it's just amazing to see that Doge and SHIB are back stronger than ever. Effectively, they're in the top 10 really by market capitalization now,
Absolutely.
and two of the strongest coins. So Dogecoin's at 10, SHIB's at 11 if I'm looking at coin market cap right now. But yeah, two of the strongest coins almost, which is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. There's been this pattern before where you look at like what some people like to refer to as dinosaur coins.
Yes, like
So, things like the
Litecoin and
Cardanos,
yeah.
Litecoin, and one of the reasons people say buy into those is because you've got holders, you've got liquidity because it's been around for a previous cycle. You have people that bought into it and maybe didn't sell at the right time, so they've decided to hold on to it for another cycle. And during the bear market, they've stayed committed. They've gotten more involved in the community. They've gotten more attached to these long-term investments that they bought into in the previous cycle. And yeah, you've got lots of Doge evangelists, people who just want to add to their Doge bags. Probably
Doge to
their
a dollar.
holdings are in
Doge to a
profit.
dollar, Aditya.
Doge to a dollar, yeah. If Solana can get to 200, anything is possible. Like
Yeah.
there's been some extraordinary things happening this cycle. And yeah, like a lot of things happening in isolation. There's something, a theme of our discussion so far is it feels a little bit more like a stock picking market, whereas
Mm.
previous cycle it's like one wave carries everything up, and this time around, yeah, it's a lot more sort of, we've talked about this for years actually. Brave New Coin is sectoral based investing, and a taxonomy style where infrastructure projects and layer ones and layer twos, and you pick coins based on their sector. And sometimes it's played out that way, sometimes it hasn't. But this time we're really seeing specific things like AI tokens, Bittensor,
Mm.
WorldCoin, Render do really well, and meme coins, and like the gains in these specific sectors are just blowing up everything else out the water. So yeah, maybe some money to be made, but maybe a little bit trickier this time around.
Yeah, exactly. Very well said. And I think another easy way of explaining that, Aditya, is it's the mid curve thing, right? If you're going to mid
Yeah.
curve it, you'd be like, AI tokens, obscure Ethereum layer twos, perhaps metaverse gaming tokens. But really, you just want to be, if you completely left curve it, it's just meme coins are the future, or right curve it, meme coins are the future, and that's how you're going to outperform this cycle. Simple as that. Doge to a dollar, meme coin mania.
Agreed. Yeah, and yeah, also, like you said earlier, there's some gains to be had with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and yeah, the blue chips will still be the blue chips, and yeah,
Yep.
meme coins after that perhaps.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for jumping on and chatting meme coins with me today, Aditya. Any shout outs or updates on what you and your team are working on that you want to mention while we're here?
Not particularly. A few things in stealth mode with Techemy. Yeah, the venture crypto investing sort of space has been heating up, and we've been doing quite well. So look out for some cool stuff from Techemy Capital, some of our portfolio companies, particularly Stable Finance, which is a stablecoin DEX. We're big believers and Techemy that there's a world beyond the US dollar stablecoin. And we're facilitating that with Stable, which will have stable coins in Japanese yen form, in New Zealand dollar form, in Australian dollar form, in Turkish lira form. And we're really excited to get it going. Yeah, that's an untapped market, the non-USD stablecoin market. And yeah, Stable is working on some cool stuff to create some rails for it and create a community And yeah, watch this space. And yeah, beyond that, the Techemy Group and the Techemy Capital is also cooking up some cool projects, which we'll be talking about over the course of 2024.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll be back on the show to talk about those in due
Perfect.
course. So look forward to that. But in the meantime, yeah, let's just see how the bull market plays out. See how the meme coin rally takes shape and the inevitable bubble burst to follow. But hey, that's that's a show for another day. Thank you, Aditya. All the best, and bye for now.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks for having me.
All right, there you go. There was Aditya Das from Techemy. Yeah, always a pleasure to chat crypto with Aditya. And yeah, I mean, who doesn't love just yeah, chatting meme coins? And of course, the rise of financial nihilism. I'll put some links in the show notes, maybe just to some of the more interesting Twitter threads, such as yeah, Travis Kling's original Twitter thesis, if you like, about yeah, the rise of financial nihilism and what are the structural causes are for that. And yeah, I shall do that. We reached the end of another show. Thank you for listening, team. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to make sure you subscribe to the Crypto Conversation and whatever podcast app you are using. But that is it for today. Thanks for listening. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin. Doge to $1. See ya.